wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's dreaded D-Rose report. Hey, I hope you guys had a great weekend. A few of the people at the pay-per-view had a great weekend. Let's just start this out. I got a couple of reports in one here, by the way, from the weekend. And WCW Clash of the Champions are going to be beginning airing on the network this coming Monday, which is today, 6 a.m. in the morning. That's what it's got. Alright, and WWE purchased recently a library of Mid-Atlantic wrestling footage shot in Virginia at ringside next to the ring announcer from Jim Crockett Promotions event. It's like a 16 millimeter camera, I do believe. But anyway, George Pantas, he was the guy that did the shooting and is revealed in the Norfolk Navy's flagship. Anyway, the footage includes what may be the only complete match on the tape featuring Ric Flair and Buddy Rogers versus Buddy Rogers. Anyway, big heel turn could be going on for Sheamus. Might be happening real soon. Maybe probably be after the European tour, because officials didn't want him really to turn heel right before the tour and then lose a lot of the momentum when he by getting cheered, as a heel, and you're just not supposed to do that over there. WWE officials have been talking about possibly putting Tyson Kidd and Evan Bourne together for a tag team, which I think would be great. Might see some good wrestling. And WWE is planning on trying to get Bill Goldberg signed for WrestleMania 31, is to follow a similar path that they took with Ultimate Warrior. The idea is putting Goldberg in the 2015 video game, and then announce, around SummerSlam, and then use the hype of top spot of WrestleMania 30. They didn't mention anything about Hall of Fame. I'm sure that would go too. And as noted, Tough Enough's going to be returning this year to WWE Network, and reportedly being filmed down at Performance Center with NXT talent, but it's the ones we're not seeing on TV. It's said that the season will be very different from the past shows, and it's also scheduled for one of 4 reality TV shows. That's one of the 4 reality TV shows coming up, like Legends House, and 2 other shows that haven't been announced yet. All right, what else have I got here? CM Punk back in April spoke to Holy Trinity basketball team in Chicago after one of the recent games, and the head coach talked with a website and said he stayed at the same hotel the kids did, the team did, and he saw talking to the parking lot, and the next thing you know, he says he was a good guy. He said a good role model. He said told the kids to stay in school, do the right thing, and he doesn't look injured. He said he looks good. And noted before that Raquel Diaz, or Shaw Guerrero, was being repackaged with Baron Corbin in some sort of like a biker gimmick. So it appears that the decision, of course, to release her was made last week or so. So no word whether Corbin's keeping the gimmick going and just getting a new valet or not. And JoJo Offerman was doing some ring announcing with Devin Taylor last night at the NXT. Well, this was Saturday night. All right. Smith Hart revealed on Twitter that The Rock's half-brother, Curtis Bowles Johnson, is in the process of joining the Hart Brothers Wrestling School in Canada. Curtis says Rocky Johnson's son from a first marriage has been a successful businessman in Toronto. Who would have thought? All right, over the weekend, this would have been the Hall of Famer Stu Hart's 99th birthday. And on this day on that day in 1996, Wrestling World lost AWA and WWF United States champion Ray Stevens at the age of 60. All right, here's the newer stuff. Cesaro versus Van Dam versus Jack Swagger in Extreme Rules. Like I said, it was going to be under Elimination Chamber type match. Rather, Elimination Rules. And last night, that was a very good match. And if you listen to the info line that I do on the phone, what is it, I gotta look at the phone, hang on. See, 317-335-4688. That's updated every day. There's 3 lines on it. I left a message on there yesterday about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. my predictions on the matches, got 100%, everything right. Even the pre-show, pre-match. I just wanted to do that for a second, just to let you know. But anyway, there's been a lot of talk in WWE about Daniel Bryan being the next in the next few months. Some higher ups kind of feel Bryan really isn't over, but the Yes Chant is. So I don't know if you can promote the Yes Chant, but I guess you can. They said he kind of peaked at WrestleMania 30. All right. Of course, he's got a lot of people waiting in line. If he don't, pick up the pace or keep it, the momentum going of himself, they're ready. Somebody's ready to step in. And reportedly, there's an offer on the table for Ric Flair to come back on a much more regular basis. Just got to dot the I's and cross the T's, or the other way around, and to get the house in order. It's not clear what kind of an offer he's got, but Flair needs to tighten up some loose ends in his personal life before going back on the road. All right, let me go on down here. Batista and Hulk Hogan will be incorporated into the new WWE comic book series by issue 8, if you're collecting those. All right. On Saturday, Mr. Fuji turned 78 years old. Scott Armstrong turned 54 years old. WWE and WCW valet Alicia Webb turned 34. 94th birthday of Dory Funk Sr. All right. I don't know if you've seen the pay-per-view last night, but the six-man tag was a good match. A real good match. And still the steel cage with Wyatt and John Cena is still, to me, it's a slow pace match. It's just, they get a move set up, boom, they do it, and then they just walk around for a minute. They parade around here, and they set it up again. But Cena couldn't win last night because he couldn't get over the top and down to the floor because the other two kept punching him and pushing him back up into the ring. And finally, he had a door open up, and probably got to change his laundry now because there's a little kid out there talking like an exorcist. Kind of looked like, I haven't seen who the kid is yet. Kind of looked like a little bit of like Wyatt. Could be Wyatt's kid. Anyway, all 35 NWA and WCW Clash of the Champions are now available in the vault, by the way. Now, WWE is going to be bringing this year's summer live events as like Summer Slam Heatwave Tour. They used to do that years ago when the wrestling, when WWE or SmackDown, Raw, whatever you want to call it, would go on tour. They always had a name of a tour. And it used to be in your house, and then it was had subtitles after that. Anyway, they're kind of going back to that. But anyway, it's going to be a Summer Slam Heatwave Tour. In fact, I think one time they had a Heatwave Tour, not SummerSlam, but all right, Batista. WWE's status for Payback is kind of up in the air, including Vince McMahon. He doesn't know. We're still trying to convince him to stay and work a match with Daniel Bryan next month, but he doesn't want to do it because he would lose, and he doesn't want to go on a hiatus after a loss, because when he comes back, that's a good deal. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, the plan is, coming out of Extreme Rules last night, if he can't be convinced, Batista, to work with Daniel Bryan at Payback, they will probably do a Kane versus Daniel Bryan in the Buried Alive match. Kane sitting up at the end of Extreme Rules match with Daniel Bryan was kind of done that way because they thought they may needed to have sort of a last scene just in case Batista won't do it, so that will lead into Kane versus Bryan at Payback. Alright, coming out of Extreme Rules, nothing is settled regarding Payback main event, which could be something else. Even though Extreme Rules Payback, Batista last advertised appearance for the run, he should be in Albany, New York for tonight's Raw, and could be booked in a segment for his exit with the Shield. Maybe they're going to beat him down tonight. Get him over the corner out in the parking lot. And I tell you what, LANA is just wonderful. I'd never seen a set of legs on a woman before, not since Stacy Keibler, but hers was long. Oh, she is. And the mannerisms and the persona she just radiates on camera. She's something else. Anyway, LANA spoke to Tom Phillips about Alexander Rusev getting a win. LANA was asked, why did you decide to dedicate the match to Russian President Vladimir Putin? Anyway, LANA said that Rusev now resides in Russia and fights for the Russia. So Putin had his big face on the screen up there. All right, I think it's Alabama.com has an article up about wrestling legend Lex Luger speaking at Central Baldwin Chamber of Commerce 10th annual prayer breakfast on May 1st, Summerdale, Alabama. Anyway, the article notes that while Luger was paralyzed after suffering a stroke in 2007, I don't know how many people know all that. That's why he looks bad, and he can't help it. I look bad, and I can help it. But anyway, his mobility today is not all that great. But Luger spoke from a wheelchair, but has use of his limbs and can walk short distances, which is great. And Rob Van Dam last night, he suffered some bruising and swelling on his left side of his face, as well as a cut down his cheek after a 5-star frog splash onto a trash can, which he didn't try to do on purpose at the pay-per-view. No word out on any other injuries, but they kind of cut to the camera one time when he kind of rolled over, and he was bleeding right there. And of course, we can't see blood, you know that. Can't handle it. So they never showed him no more. Happy birthday to two-time NWA Florida champion Billy Fives, 45 years old. Current referee, WWE referee Chad Patton, 38 years old. Hall of Famer Bill Watts, 75 years old. UK indie wrestler Frankie Sloan, 44 years old. And let's see, on this day in 2002, former NWA WCW referee Randy Anderson died at the age of only 42 years old, and during this period he was wrestling there, or refereeing there. He would also wrestle his one and only professional match, defeating fellow referee Nick Patrick. Remember him? I don't know whatever happened to Nick. He was in WWE for quite a while. He was always kind of an edgy guy. In 1999, Anderson was reinstated by WCW President Ric Flair, but would be forced to retire for health reasons just mere months later. Anderson was originally diagnosed with cancer in 1995, having recognized his own symptoms. And he was given the all clear once, but the cancer returned in a more aggressive form and eventually claiming his life after a long battle. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.